Welcome to the Taped Podcast, the most close-minded podcast in the world. We are your hosts, myself, Michael.
Myself, Miho. Fucking Louis.
And Louis. Right, so today's episode of the Taped Podcast, we're going to be doing same thing we do every week. We're going to be doing 3 new albums, 1 classic, give our thoughts and opinions on each of them, and just argue with each other, essentially. The albums that we got for this week, we got Miss Anthropocene by Grimes, 2017 to 2019 Against All Logic, Map of the Soul 7 by BTS, and Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division, which is the classic.
Woo.
Woo.
What are we starting with, Mick?
You know what? Let's just get BTS over and done with.
Alright, do I need to fucking explain who they are? Is that necessary?
No, not at all.
Okay. Map of the Soul, BTS or BTS, everyone knows BTS. Map of the Soul.
The shit, bad, awful, 0, 0, 0. What?
Map of the Soul is their 7th studio album.
That's literally it.
No, that's not it. It's not their 7th. What am I got the title mixed up. It's their 4th studio album. Can't count.
Yeah. So yeah, as you may have guessed already, Louis doesn't really like this album, even though he didn't really listen to it. But you know,
I refuse. 0.
So me and Michael are gonna do this one, and then Louis gonna join in for the rest.
Yep. All right, bon voyage, Louis.
It's 0 for me, guys.
Okay then, didn't listen to it, but okay.
So track 1, intro, Persona. Louis, are you okay? You fucking passed out.
All right, he muted himself.
Intro, Persona.
Right, the intro, I thought it was all right. Like RM has some good rapping on there. He's got some actually pretty good flows. I'm pleasantly surprised, you could say. And the beat is pretty sick too. It's got a nice like soulful edge to it. I honestly really enjoyed this one. It's probably one of my favorites on the album. And
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that I liked it as much as I did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this track. As you said, solo performance from Rap Monster. I love the instrumental on this. I think it's really well produced. I love as you said, like there's really good samples in it. I think the guitars are a nice touch as well.
Yeah, the guitars are pretty nice.
And very strong rap performance from RM.
Yep.
Rating?
I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
Boy With Love featuring Halsey.
This is literally better than any song off her album.
Literally. She actually wasn't that bad on here either.
Yeah.
She was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought this was really well produced track. Just full of good performances from the whole group. Chorus is really catchy. I love the chorus on this thing. And yeah, Halsey actually doesn't sound like shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She actually sounds good on this one. Vocals
are
from
mixed right. Yeah.
Yeah, each of the members had really good vocal performances, and honestly, this one's a pretty decent track.
Yeah, and there's some strong rap performances as well on the latter half of the track, particularly from Suga.
Yeah, I've noticed Suga is actually really good.
Yeah.
I gave this one a 7.
I gave it an 8.
All right, next track, Make It Right.
Right.
This one feels more like low key than the previous 2 tracks.
Definitely.
The beat is pretty decent. The group's vocals are really good. They actually back this one up very well. And honestly, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really like the instrumental on this, especially the trumpet sample on this. Sounds like amazing, I think. And how they kind of string their vocals around that is, I thought, really creative. And yeah. Great vocals from Jungkook on the refrain especially. And the pre-chorus is really nice as well. One of the highlights for me.
Yeah, I gave this one a 7.
I gave it an 8.
0.
Louis didn't listen to the album. Next track, Jamais Vu.
This one again, it's low key, pretty much similar to the last track. There's a good mixing of rapping and singing on there, but personally, the chorus kind of killed it for me. I didn't really enjoy it as much.
I think the instrumental was kind of the downfall of this track for me. I don't think it was that interesting at all. I think the band had a good performance throughout. I think the chorus from Jungkook and Jun was actually alright. I didn't mind it. I think the change up in instrumental during J-Hope's verse was a bit awkward though. Like the verse itself was fine, the instrumental just kind of came out of nowhere. It was weirdly produced.
Kind of true. I can agree with that.
Overall, I think it's a nice track. It just kind of plays its cards far too safe to be anything really memorable.
I thought it was just okay, you know?
Yeah.
I gave it a 6.
5. Oh. I don't know how to pronounce this. Do you want to take a shot at this?
No, I don't want to.
Dionysus. I'll say Dionysus.
Dionysus, okay.
I'm guessing you people are absolute idiots, right? Because it's not. I'm guessing just from how you're trying to pronounce it, it's Dionysus, is it?
Yeah. What is it?
Can you just tell me that again? How you're pronouncing that?
Dionysus? I've never seen that before. Okay, Mr. English teacher.
Dionysus, you fucking mong.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. Fucking idiot.
Say it
Say it one more time for me. Say it one more time for me, because that is.
Okay, you're out.
Dionysus, okay?
Thank you. No, how you were pronouncing it? Go on.
Dionysus. Louis, no one literally cares.
No one cares, Louis. Seriously.
Oh, lads, I think you've been speaking too much Korean to each other, you fucking weeaboos. Goodbye.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well,
this is actually entertaining. This is why we keep him here.
I like the instrumental on this as a whole. The energy of the track, I think, is really cool. The chorus is really unique. Like, energy is awesome on it. I think that chorus in itself was one of the more memorable parts on the album for me. However, the track itself does have its kind of awkward moments, but I think the highlights definitely shine brighter than the awkward moments bring it down.
Yeah. Like, I thought the production was pretty good. It had like a triumphant like feel to it, and there's actually some pretty like weird auto-tune moments that kind of caught me off guard. But I don't know. It's good. I enjoy it. Like, it's not the best track in the album, but it's all right. Like, I guess.
Yeah,
I give it 7.
I give it a 7 as well.
0,
right.
not enough. Dionysus.
Do no one physically cares?
Then stop responding, you idiot.
Then why are you butting in?
Shut up, mate.
Mate. Interlude. Shadow.
0, Dionysus.
He's our special needs friend.
And his opinion doesn't matter on this situation. He didn't listen to the album, so, you know.
Hey, come on, we're all in the same mental asylum. You can't call me the singular retard.
We're on Discord.
Yeah, in hospital.
Are we talking about this track here?
Yeah. This one has like a slow build up into this like trap instrumental. And the rapping was actually pretty good on it, and I actually quite enjoyed the chorus on this one. It actually made for one of my favorite tracks in the album.
Yeah, I thought the rap performance from Suga was great. And the post-chorus especially, I think, was really catchy. But I do feel like the instrumental could have been a bit more interesting for a track like this. Instead, I think they played it a bit safe with the instrumental. Overall, I still think it's a pretty good track. 7 out of 10.
8 for me.
0.
Okay.
Okay then.
Black Swan is the next track.
It has a trap beat again. Like,
that's your only comment.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing I have written down for the instrumental in front. It's a trap beat, so
yeah.
Trap. 0.
I'm not a fan of the instrumental. It's just overall, I think it's very artificial sounding, especially with the trap beat, and just not interesting at all. All over the place as well.
Yeah, it does seem all over the place. The vocals are just okay as well. It kind of gives off the vibe of like Travis Scott. This feels kind of like a.
I can see that.
It's kind of like a take on what Travis Scott normally does.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, the members aren't none of the members are bad per se, but no one stands out really. I think the only standout part of the song for me was the chorus.
It's like a middle of the road track for me.
I'd say it's one of my least favorite ones.
Same.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 5.
0. Thought it was great.
Filter.
The chorus and the verses in this one, they were just okay. Like, nothing really stand out or interesting. The beat is pretty mid, like, especially with those, like, claps and that, like, guitar. I just didn't really find it all that appealing. I just felt like it was kind of... It was, you know what? Filter. More like filler.
For sure, I feel like this instrumental is just trying to rehash, like, the Ed Sheeran acoustic style, but mixed with, like, the overdone mainstream Latin pop. Just... not doing it for me at all.
Sweet fuck, I'm glad I missed this album.
The vocals from Jimin are nice enough though, but I don't think they have much to work with in terms of the instrumental.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah, this was one of my least favorites.
Yeah, this one's like a 5 for me.
I give it a 3.
Bruh, okay, fair enough.
My Time.
Pretty similar to the last track. The performances were uninteresting, and the beat is pretty mid. Like, I found this to be very forgettable.
Yeah, I at this point I noticed that there was a theme of, like, every member getting their own kind of solo track. I thought that was quite cool. This one is Jungkook's, and it's one of the least memorable tracks on the album for me. There isn't anything, like, inherently awful about it, but there's just nothing really here that's standout or memorable. It's just kind of a by the numbers pop song.
Yeah, this one's like a 4 for me.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 as well.
Solid 0.
Louis, did you even listen to the other albums?
Yes, I did.
Oh, fuck, nice.
Okay, moving on.
Louder Than Bombs.
It's a slight bit more on the dramatic side in terms of production, but at the same time, it still felt uninteresting. This one felt overproduced as hell, in my opinion, and like performances from people on the track were just a bit uninteresting to me. I just didn't really enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a pleasant enough track. I thought the rap performances were nice and low key, but I don't think they really stood out. It's like maybe Sugar's part, like at the end, where it kind of intensified. That was really a standout. But other than that, I think the production was pretty good. Very, like, grandiose sounding, and I do like the chorus on this thing. So overall, I a positive experience with this track.
It's very mid for me.
Rating?
5.
I gave it a 6. On this next track.
This one has like a pretty, like, bassy instrumental. Like, it was decent enough, I suppose, and the performances were good as well, but didn't really stand out to me as much. I found it very forgettable, you could say. Like, I didn't really enjoy it as much.
Well, I thought the percussion on the beat was quite nice, how it just mixed the kind of artificial trap beats with, like, acoustic snare rolls. I thought that was just mixed really well. The rest of the instrumental is pretty good too. There's just a lot of nice subtle touches that are hard to, like, grasp on one listen. Like, there's some faint trumpets in the background that kind of highlights certain vocal parts. I thought that was mixed really well. As for the vocals, I think the chorus is once again pretty nice. And performances from the whole group were decent across the board. I think the J-Hope verse was definitely the highlight for me.
All right.
I gave that a 7.
I gave it a 6.
Is the next track.
This one was probably my favorite on the album.
I agree.
That bassy instrumental, it slaps. It's so good. I really enjoy it, and I love the whole energy of the track. And the rapping was actually really great on it. It made for one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, the beat's just grimy. It's like industrial almost sounding. It's energetic. Fucking love it. There's brilliant rap performances from all three rappers here. And yeah, as you said, it's probably my favorite track on the album.
All right. I gave it an 8.
I gave it a strong 8.
Yeah.
0 o'clock.
That's a stupid title. 0
I know.
o'clock. Bruh.
Maybe it's different in Korea.
Maybe. Like, this one is just middle of the road for me again. It's just okay. It's just kind of generic and uninteresting to me. Like, I didn't really find it that great or groundbreaking or anything like that. Personally, not one of my favorites.
Yeah, like the last track was kind of the three rappers kind of flexing. I think this track is like a counterpart to it, as in it's the three vocalists. And I do think that all of the vocal performances on this are really good. And the choruses stand out for me as well. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I give it a 7.
I gave it a 5.
Inner Child.
It's another middle of the road track for me. Again, I found it pretty uninteresting in terms of production. And again, I found it pretty uninteresting in terms of performances. I thought it was pretty like middle of the road and pretty forgettable. Like personally, I didn't vibe with it.
Yeah, so this was a solo track from V, and the production on the vocals, I thought that was the first thing that struck me, was quite odd. It sounded really good when like he was singing the louder parts, but during some of the quieter parts, it was just like reverberated a bit weird. Like the tone of it was off. Something was off. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something was off there. But that being said, the instrumental I thought was really good. It's really energetic, but at the same time, it's really pretty. Did I say the chorus is good?
All right.
The chorus was really good. But yeah, the vocal mixing was questionable, I think.
I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 6. Friends.
I didn't really vibe with this one either. Again, middle of the road, pretty boring, pretty generic vocally. I didn't really enjoy it that much. That's all I really have written.
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of this instrumental. It's all over the place. Vocally, I thought it was decent, but it's still kind of by the numbers. And the chorus was also pretty unremarkable. I would say this is possibly my least favorite song on the album, if we're not counting the last track.
It's bottom 3 on the album for me.
Yeah. Give it a 3.
I gave it a 5.
Ah. Fuck. 5's bottom 3.
Yeah.
Next track is Moon.
Moon. Similar to pretty much previous things that we've seen on this album, but it feels more upbeat than a lot of it, but I personally didn't vibe with it at all.
Yeah, overall I thought it was a pretty fun track, but it was a bit bare bones for me. A bit memorable. It has some good moments, but it has just as many kind of unremarkable moments. It just kind of gets lost in a track list for me.
Yeah, true. Again, like bottom 5 on the album for me.
What did you give it?
A 5.
A 5, right. Respect.
Respect, I thought it was decent enough. I really enjoyed the production, and I thought the performances were pretty good. I thought it was a nice, enjoyable track.
Yeah, I thought I had a decent instrumental and decent verses from the rappers, but I just thought it was a bit of a far cry from how good they were on
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But it wasn't bad by any means. I thought it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah, I suppose I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 5.
Enjoyable as a 5, okay.
Yeah, there were some parts about it that didn't stand out. I can't justify giving it much higher.
I mean, that kind of rating for me is a 5. Like, that kind of thought process for me.
Well, like, okay, but just... What do you mean? What's a 5?
Like, a 5 for me, like, it's okay. Like, it's standard. Like, nothing much really stands out as much.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about that. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad by any means. But
Yeah, exactly. That's why 5 exists.
okay, then we're aligned.
Yeah, we are Bulletproof, the Eternal. The production on this one was pretty decent. I actually quite like this explosive electronic chorus that was going on, and there were some decent performances from each of the members, but again, nothing stand out. Plus, at this point in the album, I kind of felt like it dragged.
Well, I didn't think there was anything really memorable about the production for me personally. I didn't care much for the chorus, just very commercial to me. Verses weren't particularly memorable. Both the singing and the rap verses. It's one of the least memorable tracks for me.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 6.
Last proper track, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the outro. Ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty upbeat. The trumpets in the instrumental are nice, and there's some decent performances. But at this point, I was kind of burnt out from the album because it was an hour at this point.
Yeah, so this is like J-Hope's solo track, and the instrumental on this was decent. Once again, there was a really cool trumpet sound during the chorus. They like to use their trumpet samples, and I think they use them well. But J-Hope brings forward like a really solid, energetic performance, I thought. And I thought it was a decent way to end off the album.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, and then the last track is on, but worse, because Sia's on it. But yeah, outro, I gave that a 6.
I also gave that a 6.
So, final thoughts?
Final thoughts on Map of the Soul 7. I thought it was okay. Like, personally, I did have a few highlights from this album. There was a decent amount of tracks that stood out from the rest, but ultimately I feel like this project is very bloated and it has too much filler. Like, it started going downhill after the Shadow interlude, and then in the middle you got which kind of raised it up again, but then it just went down from there. Like, personally, it's alright. Like, I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking or anything like original in any way, but it's fun. There's some fun tracks on there, just a little bit bloated. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I thought the highlights on this were definitely notable, really well produced, like well written, just well performed. But for every, I thought, really good track, there was either a subpar or unmemorable track, and as a whole, I think it's just too full of some by the numbers, kind of inoffensive or even half-baked tracks to be considered anything great. I felt like if it was a bit more concise, and like the moments that were great, if it was more full of those, I feel like it might have even been their best album yet. But I think they just packed it too full of things that weren't quite right to be considered a step forward for the group, I think.
True.
Overall score.
I'd be willing to give Love Yourself to You a chance, actually, now that
I think you should. I think that one definitely more concise. I think that album's like 40 minutes.
Fair.
And there's probably like 1 or 2 unmemorable like tracks on that for me. The rest are really good.
Okay.
Well, for now, we'll focus on the podcast. You can do that after.
Okay.
Final score?
I gave it a 6.
I gave it a light 6.
Same.
So is Louis take the pause once done? What pause are we doing?
I don't know.
Louis after messaging the Discord because Louis is supposed to join in now.
Look, just let's just fill this in with
with me scrolling Reddit again like I did last time. Wait. I'll go on r/music memes. Is that a thing?
Bro, I've been listening to Lil Uzi's Lil Uzi versus the World. That shit is actually really good.
Oh, I thought you meant it's a new song.
No, his new song is still good. It grew on me really heavy.
Yeah, dude, I knew from first listen that I was gonna like. I don't know how to. Yeah, Corey Feldman released a new song.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to touch that one.
I listened to it.
Because I know it's not going to be good, but the fucking
I listened to it.
theme of it, I don't want to goof on it.
It's
pretty serious.
It's something to behold. Like
Hmm.
I don't like. I think it's too generic right now, shitting on Corey Feldman. But at the same time, it's still pretty funny, you know.
Yeah, like the thing is, I don't know if I'm going to check this out, like the song out, because obviously it's not going to be good. Like I don't think he's able to make a good song. But
I've listened to it, and
I know what this like. I seen from the title. I know that he's got a pretty dark history, and as a child actor, and I don't think I just don't want to touch that track. I don't want to, because the only thing you can do with that track really is goof on it. I think I'll just avoid goofing on it.
I mean, I actually contributed to it on Album of the Year. I actually put it up.
Oh shit, dude!
For everyone to rate, and I'm the only one who rated it so far.
Really, I thought I put it up. The Corey Feldman track would be a spectacle.
So did I, but I have the only comment on there, and the god of music has awoken to enlighten the masses.
Yeah, he's a scrolling.
It's
oh no, it's Louis fucking dead. What are we gonna do?
We could just read random facts again.
Jeez, fucking hell, random facts. Okay.
You could just cut this out if you want, like.
Yeah, but the effort of cutting out, because I'm gonna have to listen through it and find the big chunk that's us talking gibberish.
You could just like skim through it.
Skim through it. Oh Jesus! Right. Okay, I probably will.
All right, I'm just gonna head on Reddit. Let me see this shit.
Well, I might if this is still in, maybe we'll get some good content out of Reddit.
Maybe.
Shut up.
Yay! Finally, we don't have to go on Reddit.
Just shut up.
We were about to fucking go on Reddit.
Yeah, that's you lads, isn't it? That's just you all over.
/ we were waiting for Louis.
Just to fill in the dead air.
You smell.
Okay then.
So, do you want to get on to the next album?
Grim.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to Grimes.
Grim.
Grim Reaper.
Album. No.
Need a little biography piece?
Yeah, just a small one.
Claire Boucher, aka Grimes, is a singer-songwriter and visual artist and producer from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Her music incorporates elements of varied styles and genres, including dream pop, R&B, electronic music, and hip hop. I don't know when I fucking wrote this. I probably copy and pasted it off Wikipedia.
Yes.
More than likely.
Miss. I never do that though. Miss Anthropocene is her 5th studio album and her first in 5 years. I genuinely don't. I usually just whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Fine. I usually look up. Yeah. The only thing I look up is if it's what number of studio album it is. Like if it's
that's bad. Come on, you should know, man.
Sure, we're fucking listening to an artist we don't know. I'm not gonna know.
Kids of the internet, bro. Kids on the internet. Come on.
For a moment. No one cares. Okay, let's get into this.
Moi.
All
right.
Track 1.
Go. So Heavy I Fell Through the Earth. This one, vocal mixing is kind of off-putting to me. But I do enjoy the atmosphere of the instrumental. I think it is pretty good. The 808s and the kicks are pretty sick. And it's a decent opener. Sets the tone.
Yeah, I love the instrumental on this. I love how it's kind of distant and ambient almost. But at the same time, it's kind of like exhilarating and powerful. I thought the mixing on the vocals was good. How it kind of reverberates around the instrumental. It's a very much a Grimes track, I think. I wouldn't say it's one of the standouts in her whole career, but I think it's a nice moment on the album.
It's okay. I didn't really like the vocal mixing too much, but I thought the instrumentation was okay. Probably my favorite on the whole album, to be honest, as well. I had good faith coming into this, thinking, okay, maybe this will be okay. Maybe it won't be too bad, but I suppose we'll see as we go through the tracks.
Track rating?
That's not a good sign. Oh god,
that isn't.
I gave this one a 7.
I gave it an 8.
I give it an 8.
Dark Side.
The bass is pretty heavy in the opening, and then it turns into this atmospheric like type production. I really enjoyed it. I did not like this gibberish warped auto-tune vocals that Grimes came with. I didn't really fuck with it at all. It was pretty off-putting.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, the beat was dark. It was grimy. I really liked the beat. But yeah, the vocals from Pan, the guest feature, just didn't really sound great to me at all. Just the way they were mixed. I think they were going for like a similar approach to maybe 100 Gex. Kind of.
Oh no, she was trying to go with Future.
Oh god, I don't know, but it just didn't sound good. Period. Grimes' vocal parts, however, I think were much better. Catchy enough. I like the falsetto parts at the end of the track. Overall, I think it's okay, far from the best. A fun fact, this beat was actually made for Lil Uzi.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, he didn't want it though.
When I came to this song, that's when my hopes started to dramatically go down, because this is, I mean, look, the beat's fine, I guess, but nothing's done with it. It's the same kind of droning sound the whole time. The vocals are fucking awful. There's no other way to make me less interested than just
It's Chinese, bro.
Yeah, it's Chinese, but do I look like I care or speak the language? No. So I don't know what the fuck's being said. It's literally just like fucking gibberish then. It's just shit. Sorry.
It's like if Lil Baby's voice was like pitched correct to like make him sound like a fucking dwarf.
It's like a 4. I'm not giving it any more than that.
I'll give it a 6.
I give it a 6. Delete forever.
It has guitars, really weird vocals.
Bad guitars at that. Sounds like
I thought it was pretty boring and not really notable. I didn't really enjoy this track. I just thought it was middle of the road.
Well, I really love this track.
Jesus Christ, you really are
completely
like a 15-year-old white girl.
I thought it was completely left field for Grimes. I love how she mixed her usual kind of ethereal wave style with more 90s indie rock. I thought the vocals on this were catchy. They were really nice. The samples on the chorus as well, I thought were great. I love it just overall has a really like nostalgic feeling to me. And even if it's kind of pretty, even though the lyrical themes are quite dark. And it's probably my favorite track of the year so far.
Bruh.
Oh my god. It's like, no. Oh my god. It's like a 15-year-old girl's favorite, like, I'm in love, I'm so happy song.
The song's about dying from heroin overdose.
Yeah, but you're one of those people read into the lyrics.
Bro.
Care. Because at this point, I just kind of, after the second song, I just kind of stopped caring, so I didn't know that, but it sounds all happy, and there's acoustic guitars, it's cool, and I like it. Yeah. And the drum, I don't know what the fuck's going on with the drum mixing, because at the beginning it literally comes in like, just sounds awful. I don't know what they're trying to do here. It sets a tone at the beginning, and then the tone dies on the third track. Hello? And
I agree, to be honest.
It comes back, but like, you know, you're just like, well, it's kind of tarnished now. The pacing is completely killed.
I agree. I agree with Louis. This track did kind of ruin the pacing.
It's a weird, out of place, fucking strange, boring acoustic zombie using tune. I don't care. It's getting a fucking 2.
It's a 5 for me.
I gave it a 10.
Should be deleted forever. Should be deleted forever. You should be deleted from this podcast, you fucking hypocrite.
Bruh.
I mean, the guy who didn't listen to one of the albums that we were supposed to do.
Mass-produced Jap.
Whoa, come on! You're gonna get us fucking
shit out. I hate it. I hate it so much.
All right, yeah, Mihal, cut that part.
No,
maybe.
Never.
Next track, Violence.
That isn't even bad. Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna cut it, bro.
Coronavirus, bitch.
All right, Violence. I really enjoyed this track. The vocals I thought were pretty good. They added to the atmosphere of the track, and I really enjoyed this like futuristic, like cyberpunk edge to it. I thought it was pretty nice.
Yeah, I thought it was another great track. Instrumental, I thought was awesome, and at its like very core, it kind of sounds like it could even be a hit pop song, but like the mixing on the vocals and like production kind of makes it into this more strange and ethereal final product. I really liked it.
Kind of boring. Not much going on. Airy ass vocals. I don't really buy into the whole kind of airy pop thing. I think it's kind of boring and lame and trying to sound like 80s synthwave, but failing miserably. I don't know. It's just uninteresting. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I've got more interesting things to say about other tracks. It's like a 4.
It's an 8 for me.
It's an 8 for me as well.
Jesus Christ.
4 a.m.
This is my favorite track on the album. Right? It kept the futuristic edge that it went for with the last track, and that slow build up into those drums were absolutely great. I actually love the drums on this track. They were actually pretty sick, and I really enjoyed Grimes' vocals. They actually really added to the track as a whole. It's definitely my favorite on the album.
Yeah, I love this track as well. Definitely up there as one of my favorites. It kind of at first sounds like almost Middle Eastern, but then Grimes' vocals come in, and then like it brings it back into action, and then out of nowhere this drum and bass fucking drums come in and just kick it completely into action. Like Grimes' hectic vocals over, I think, match the drums really well. I think that the kind of Middle Eastern almost aesthetics remain over the track, but as new layers get added, it's just too many influences. There's not just one. Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant track.
Way too airy. Just I seriously do not buy into this style of make everything sound like there's literally barely any bass coming out of anything. Nothing else. So for like, the first minute, there's nothing. It's just kind of there. And then, okay, there's a few drums. It sounds more like a fucking Forza soundtrack than like music I'd listen to on a daily basis. I can picture myself in a shitty fucking Renault Clio 5.6 litre or some shit. I don't know. Who cares? Driving down like Silverstone than listening to this in like a normal scenario. It's just boring.
I think every track you didn't like, you at some point used the word airy when talking about it.
He used that for every track that he doesn't like.
Yeah, I think that's not true, but
it is true. It is true.
It's not true. The past
back me up on this. It is true. It is true.
Listen,
wait, what? I didn't hear you. I could only hear Louis there.
No, you have to admit, Louis, it's true.
It's
What's
not
true? What's true? What's happening?
Literally not
he
true.
keeps using the word airy to describe music he doesn't like.
Apparently is airy, yeah. Except that's not true. There's a lot of things I've named that aren't airy that I hate. It's just the past few albums we're doing are all this fucking weird fucking production style and I don't like it. Sorry if everyone in the fucking universe uses the same shitty production nowadays, but I can't help that. So I'm going to chat shit about it. Yeah, I don't even listen to AC/DC.
Oh my god! Can we move on to the next track, please?
Yeah. Come on. New Gods.
Very mid. Move on.
Very mid.
This was the point in the track list where I started to click off this album. Just saying.
Yep. Here we go.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Miho.
Up until this point, I had been just writing like the ratings and then like a few notes. But on this one, I didn't even put a rating. I just put "fucking hell, I'm bored" because nothing happens, nothing's going on. It's just
like literally,
nothing.
It's so slow. Like
it's nothing.
There's nothing. Like it. I don't know.
3 minutes of just nothing.
It's very mid for me. It's very mid.
I wouldn't call this mid. I just call this non-music. It's just spoken words.
Well, I have notes, but I'll just agree and say that it's one of my least favorite tracks. Because all my notes say is what you said, but in more detail.
Yeah.
My name is Dark. Oh, wait, ratings.
We didn't rate. 5.
Yeah, 5.
Well, I literally didn't rate it, but if I had to, I'd say like 3.
Fair enough.
My name is Dark.
My least favorite track on the album. I think this track is an absolute mess. The vocals are all over the place, and the production is just so flat and do nothing. I do not like this track at all. It's it's very, I don't know, airy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all.
I like the track. I thought that the guitar samples were pretty neat. Vocal delivery, can't speak, was good. Speaking of the vocals, I thought the mixing in general was good on this track. It makes it kind of sound both really pretty and serene, but also unsettling at the same time. Yeah, it was one of the better tracks in my opinion.
Just another kind of track you put in a Forza game because it's like droning. And again, no substance to it. It doesn't. Nothing in my ears is. It doesn't sound. I hate this album. Sorry. It's just so much reverberation. It's overdone and boring. It's a 2.
I
It's
give
a
it an
4
8.
for me.
Everyone's just going to call you guys Fantano stands.
Yeah, no.
Before the fever. Wait, are we?
You've
Am I
missed
slow?
one.
No.
Miss me when I'm not
Yeah,
around.
you are. Yeah, you are.
I
slow.
genuinely missed one. Get it?
Very similar to the last track. The instrumental is very Doolittle. It's nothing. It's really boring. I didn't like it at all. I was just uninterested at this point.
Another track that I did like. There's almost like an alt rock instrumental under all the glitchy electronics. You can almost like hear the distorted guitars. I thought the bass line on this was actually nice, and she opted not to use much effects on her vocals, and I thought they sounded pretty good.
The only note I have written down is vocals are fine. That's it. There you go. 2. Don't care. Boring 2 minutes.
Ratings?
4.
I give it an 8.
2.
Before the fever.
Again, similar to the previous track, it's just doing nothing for me, man. Like, that's all I have to say.
I like the droning synths on this. And Grimes's kind of distorted vocals give the track kind of like a dystopian quality. Like the instrumental matches the like lyrics quite well. This whole track's about like the end of the world. Yeah, I think it's an okay track, far from the best.
It's just boring again. Like what? There's nothing to this. 2.
4.
6.
Oh. Okay.
I adore you.
Meh.
Itaru, don't care. 2.
No, like that's all I have written down for both sections of my notes. Meh and meh.
Mick, did you just get kind of bored like halfway through and just start putting like don't care 2?
Yeah, like I was kind of excited for this because like I liked Visions. I thought that was good, but like this is just boring. Like it's flat as hell. And like
I had a little bit of optimism, but it was slowly quenched and destroyed.
Like I can look, you could call me a Fantano stan all you want. I don't care. This album is just boring as shit.
It is.
Well, I like the last track. We'll leave it at that. We'll just finish this off.
5.
I give it a 9.
2.
Final thoughts.
Overall, I had optimism. It has some good tracks on it that I actually enjoyed, but the rest of it is just inconsistent, poorly produced. I personally think I don't know. Like personally, I do not like how produced this album was. No, let me rephrase that. I don't like how the album was produced. There were some good tracks on it, but ultimately, I came away with like 2 great tracks, and then the rest was just one was decent. The rest was just okay to bad. Like I don't think I'd listen to this album again at all. Like I don't know. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, you go first.
Me? Okay. No, actually, no. You can leave me to the last because I've got a big spiel.
Okay. I mean, I did like the album, but I think it's far from her best material. It's it does sound like a Grimes album through and through, but she explores more of a droney, almost dystopian kind of style on it, for better or for worse. Even the highlights I don't think were as memorable as any of the tracks on like Art Angels or Visions. There are some really good tracks that I really loved, but a lot of it is just a bit underwhelming. And while I did
Michal?
Mihal's passed away. Everybody, it's almost, how do you say, tradition, episodic tradition for him to just kind of die midway through. And here we go again. He's passed on to the next life.
Wait, how much of that did you miss?
Like a good 10 seconds.
Because my mic just fucking cut off. What's the last thing I said?
I can't remember.
All right. TLDR. It's good. It's not as good as her best stuff. There were good moments. There were some less memorable moments. I enjoyed it more on repeated listens, but still not as much as some of our older stuff. And the end.
Okay, so at about the halfway point through listening, I was so offensively bored. But I just wrote this down, and what I can only imagine was pure red mist and At Fury. It's like a Blade Runner soundtrack made by somebody who's just basing their, like, you know, or how do you put this? Never seen the film and has only seen stills of the set and is just basing the music off of that. Like some sort of bland cyberpunk crap. Airy all the way through. I've never been so bored in my life. I would actually rather stick a fork in my foot just for entertainment than listen to this again. Now, I'm done. Can we move on to something more interesting, please?
All right, overall scores.
There's no one going to start.
All right, look, I'll start. I gave it a 5.
A 5? Oh, I thought you meant over 100.
Yeah, 5 out of 100.
I give it a 7.
I'm only joking, like 5 out of 10.
2.
All right.
2.
Moving on.
Against
all logic, 2017 to 2019.
A good album that came out recently. About fucking time.
I have a little biography piece here.
Oh, let's go.
2017 to 2019 is the second studio album from New York producer Nicholas Jarre under his Against All Logic alias, following his critically acclaimed 2012 to 2017 project.
All right. Let's just jump right into it. Right, opener, Fantasy. The sample chopping is really great. It almost sounds like a Beyonce sample. Is that just me?
It is. I put it down as.
I'm pretty sure it's Beyonce. I didn't want to like state it for sure, but I think it is.
I looked it up. It is.
Whatever.
I can't remember the song,
but whatever like drum kits that he uses, they're actually pretty intriguing. They're loud as fuck and they're pretty unique. I really liked it.
I did like it as well. I thought it was fantastically well sampled and just interesting in general. Interesting sounds coming out of it. Like I think he uses like the trick of an alarm, like in a few parts of it. Like it pops up occasionally, the basic rhythm, and I don't know. I kind of like that interesting kind of weird sound quality to it. I think the production on this is fantastic.
I love the contrast between like the really glitchy, like grimy, aggressive beat and like the like soft R&B vocals. I thought this was one of the more memorable tracks for me.
Same here. I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
This bitch got a 10.
Bruh, that's actually positive. That's actually great. Louis has a 10.
Louis gives
because this album's good. No, it's not the first time I've given a new song a 10.
Well, on the podcast.
No, I have given other songs newer like a 10 on this podcast.
What did you give a 10?
Fucking what do you call it? One of the first ones we ever fucking did. Yeah, that and the other one. It was around that time, another album. Fuck, I'm never gonna fucking remember.
Was it
Alexandra Savior?
No.
Bombay Bicycle Club? Bombay Bicycle Club?
I think it was the first one.
Wait.
I have the one I liked.
I have what we did. Mac Miller?
No, I don't think it was Mac Miller, no.
Eminem?
No.
Was it
Most
Muramasa? You weren't here for the podcast.
No, I wasn't.
Bro, that's all we did.
No, before that. Whatever.
Was it?
All right,
was
I'm
it-
wasting time, but I have
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
What's the next track?
If loving you is wrong.
Fantastic
I
sampling.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic sampling. I really like the use of different unique sounds. It was pretty memorable. I quite enjoyed it. It was probably one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, the track kind of reminded me of almost like a late
Say it.
2000 UK
Say
garage.
it. Oh,
What?
that's not what I was going to say. Oh, okay.
What were you gonna say?
He was going to say
No,
Aphex Twin.
I was. It's like
Wait, I did.
See-
wait,
bit,
See how I know
it's
that?
a bit like Richard D.
No,
James'
no,
album
I agree.
style.
I agree.
Aphex Twin. It's a bit like that, and I
Let me
like
finish
that.
my sentence.
Go.
Let me finish the sentence. It reminds me of like if you were to mix like late 2000s UK garage / dubstep with like Aphex Twin IDM kind of, especially on the like the beat on this. Yeah, I thought it was a good track with some great moments. At times though, I thought it sounded a bit empty.
You could fairly well trick me into thinking single, like, locked me in a room and then didn't tell me what it was. I could almost hear it in a way, which is, I think, why contributing to a lot of why I like this. Plus, the production is just fucking fantastic. So, yes, I love this song as well.
Overall,
Especially like the sampling on it of the whatever song he's using or whatever clip he's using. It's very, very well
Yeah.
produced and fits in perfectly.
Overall scores?
7.
7.
10.
Ooh.
Next, With an Addict. The intro, I just wrote down pots and pans type beat.
You're
I
not
really like-
wrong.
Nah, like not as like a serious critique. It's just a little goof, little
Yeah.
gaff. Like it's good.
Funny. You
Like,
got, where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that? Goof little
Like-
gaff. Go on. Still current.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, right? I think it's a decent track. I really like the ambient synths. They're pretty nice. I enjoy this track as a whole. I think it's pretty decent.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, overall scores?
7.
7.
Bingo bongo 8.
Bro, I think we've been recording for an hour already, so I think we should.
No, we have not.
I think we have.
No, we haven't.
No, we
Well,
definitely
that's-
haven't. No.
I'll tell you when we started. We've been recording for 5 minutes, and it'll be an hour.
Yeah, so let's go.
Okay. Yeah. So not an hour. Shut your mouth, man.
Sure.
Come on,
Stop
I said
It'll be less
almost.
than with editing, okay? Let's
Stop
just go.
trolling.
right. Let's go. If you can't do it good, do it hard.
I like the heavy bass, the glitchy synths.
Thanks. Funny. Is that an L6 or?
Get it
Yeah.
funny because the
Okay.
title.
Okay. Look, I like the heavy bass. I really like the glitchy synths. The sample is pretty funny. I enjoyed this track. I like it.
Yeah, like a really dark, sinister track. I thought very bassy beat, and I love these just ear-piercing, glitchy synths going crazy over the like rather simple beat. Yeah, I thought it was a great track.
To me, and this is a very weird comparison, but like the crunchy kind of beat, it kind of reminds me of fucking Polk pull revolving doors from Amnesia. I don't know why.
Get out.
It's just so like I don't know. It sounds like some sort of weird like love child between Aphex Twin, Kid A, and like Amnesiac.
There's
I don't know.
there's the Radiohead fan. Police
I thought you
arrest
were
him.
gonna say
Yeah, but
something
holy
like-
shit.
I thought you were going to say something like completely fucking left field, like, oh, reminds me kind of Phil Collins or some shit like that.
No. Phil Collins, yeah.
Okay, overall
So-
scores for this track.
Weird you say left field because it's also a wee bit like left field as well. Then
Okay, lads, scores.
Okay, it's an 8.
fuck off, man.
It is a
Nine.
7.
Alarm.
I like the distorted bass. The unique drum kits are pretty nice. Like the energy of this track, it's decent overall.
Yeah,
Fuck was that?
What?
That was my dad. Ignore that.
That literally just sounded like someone died, bro. Hello?
I thought this instrumental was just downright chaotic with these like metallic drum samples that are boosted by the just bass that's pounding on this track. Just almost lose your ears off in the best way possible.
Again, it sounds a lot like a thing that makes me erect at all times, so that's good. Very good song. Very much like the beat on this. I thought it was very energetic and kind of fun, while still being dark and moody. No doubt about that. Very enjoyable. Much like that's like an 8.
8 for me as well.
It is a 7 for me.
Differs.
Differs.
This kind of seems like a continuation to the previous track.
Yeah, the distorted bass is pretty good. The weird synth build-ups are really good. I really like that. It's very decent.
Yeah, the synths that come in give the track kind of like an otherworldly feeling. And like every single moment of this track just comes together in a just really fucking cool way. So many just completely left field things that happen in the 5 minutes on this track. It just seems like a little journey in of itself. I think this is the best track on the album.
Louis?
It's a very good. It's a 9. I mean, I've said as much as I'm going to say simply because, I mean, they're kind of the same, like, positives, almost.
Fair. Yeah, I give it a 9.
For the joys of being quick. So,
I give it an 8.
Oh.
Faith.
Oh, yes.
This one, it's a bit slower. It's a lot more ambient. I like it, but personally I felt it was a bit too long.
Yeah, I think the beat on this track isn't very dissimilar from the last 2 tracks. But as a whole, the song is a lot like less chaotic and a lot more just ethereal and pretty. The glitchy buzzing throughout the track, however, just constantly keeps you on edge. And I love how the track just kind of shuts off, like, and ends about like, and then a minute of these ambient sounds just kind of like drag on as the track just fades out.
It's good.
It's good. Ratings.
7.
8.
8.
Penny.
The synths are pretty cool. The rhythm is really cool, and the ambience is pretty nice. I really enjoyed this track. I thought it was pretty decent, much like the rest of it. It's very consistent, in my opinion.
Yeah, the drum beat is just wild, hectic. It sounds at times it almost sounds like a tribal beat. I love how the synths just float in and give the track like kind of a nice, more pretty undertone, and then it just over time they just begin to like expand and just go ham. I think it's a great track, one of the highlights as well for me on the album.
Richard D. James album type beat. Love it so much. So good. It's so close.
7.
9.
10.
Last track, You.
Personally, not my favorite on the album. I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I did the rest. It was kind of a anticlimactic closer to the album. But, you know, it is what it is. It's just the weakest in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an odd way to close the album for me. Like, with this almost drony compilation of glitch sounds. At the end, it just seems like a bit of a weird, disjointed way to wrap up the album for me. I wish it kind of ended on a better note.
I don't know. I think it ends fairly nicely. You know, it's mellow and it's not trying to end it quickly. I suppose it's just slow and steady. And I like it. It's one of the more ambient songs on the whole album, and I like it for that. I think it's a good way to finish.
Ratings?
I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 4.
I give it an 8.
Overall opinions?
Opinions, yeah.
Right, personally, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the different type of production that I've heard from this kind of music before. I really enjoyed the sampling. The drum kits are pretty unique. The bass is heavy. I really like it. It's pretty consistent enough if you disregard the final track. And honestly, I'd be willing to go back and listen to the previous Against All Logic album.
You should. You definitely should.
It'll be a good experience. I enjoyed this quite a lot, and yeah, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought that it was just packed full of highlights and a bit of like the tracks often prove to have some sort of left turn, and it was a bit all over the place, mostly in a good way. There are some tracks that I didn't care for as much. But as a whole, I think it's a pretty expected almost successor to 2012 to 2017. I don't think it's as good as the predecessor, but I think it's a left turn for Jar, and I think that it's certainly full of good material.
He's very good. I'm definitely going to check out the album that came before this, because if it sounds anything like this, that'll be someone. This is an artist, like, if all the artists we've done thus far for the new albums, this is definitely one that I'll be looking incredibly forward to anything he does next, because it's very, 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 very good. Just to finish it off, I'd say perhaps this is another Alias. Yeah, probably trying to do some even more weird experimental shit. Who knows? It's very good.
Yeah, like I feel I haven't listened to much of Nicholas Jar's other music. I think this is more of like a house kind of experimental thing where I
wouldn't call it house.
It's like a weird. He experiments with, like, he takes house and then he just takes it apart. I think that's.
It has like it's got like a house like template, you could say.
Yeah, like I think the idea behind these projects from him is taking house and just making it different.
I think we can call this genre safely IHM, intellectual house music.
Intellectual, okay.
Intellectual,
yeah.
okay.
With that.
All right, final ratings for this album.
That's strong 7 to a light 8.
Decent 7 for me.
Solid 9.
Oof.
Bruh.
And now we're on to the album, boys.
Wait, best album of the week.
For me, the best album of the week was Against All Logic.
I agree.
That's good.
Okay.
And now we're on to the classic.
The album.
Joy Division's.
Oh, here we go.
Pleasure.
Little bite. What's the spoiler? Oh, I'm wearing the Joy Division shirt just to get in there.
I'm so quirky and original. No one's ever heard of this band. No one has ever worn that shirt.
Okay.
I'm so quirky that you might not know them. I'm really into.
Yeah, Louis, be quiet. Can we do a fucking synopsis?
I'm into weird music. You might not know who they are.
Mute Louis. Mute Louis.
Sure, Craig's not mute. It doesn't make a difference.
I'm so angry.
Unknown Pleasures is the debut studio album from Manchester, UK post-punk legends Joy Division. It's the only album they released while lead singer Ian Curtis was still alive, and it's often regarded as one of the most important albums of all time, and its influence can be found in many iconic bands that followed, such as The Cure, LCD Sound System, Interpol, Depeche Mode, The Killers, even U2.
Can you not say that ever again? U2? Can you just stop, please?
Me too.
Thanks.
Can we just talk about the album?
They have one good album. Come on.
Can we just talk about the album?
Okay. Track 1, Disorder.
Oh, it's so iconic. The bass line is so. Come on. Can't get much better than that fucking droning bass. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Iconic bass line from Peter Hook.
It is a very good track, yes. Guitars are great. The drums are really good. That bass line, I absolutely love it. Lead vocals and lyrically, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. And
very good production on the voice, I must say.
Yeah.
And
the performance from Ian Curtis himself was amazing.
Yes.
It's very good. I really enjoy it. It's probably one of my favorites on the album right off the bat.
It's very energetic and catchy, yet it's still like unsettling. And the drumming's really good. I might just say this right off the bat. Stephen Morris is one of the most underrated fucking drummers ever. He's always fucking on point. His drumming is so tight.
Will come up later. Me.
Yeah, amazing track. 10 out of 10.
10.
Depeche Mode, boys don't cry.
Day of the Lords.
I'm minimizing Discord.
No.
I love the like eerily industrial and aggressive sounding guitar, and once again the bass is on point. Great lyrics and vocals from Ian Curtis. Like it's a nice change of pace after the first like energetic track, and it's just through and through its quality. It's amazing, iconic. Love it.
Great bass, instrumental, in chorus being incredibly good on the vocals and lyrically, of course. And I really like the chord progression on this one in particular. I thought it was fairly standout and entertaining.
Ditto. The vocals are decent. The guitars are sick. I really enjoy this song very much so. I think it is very good indeed.
Yes.
10 out of
10.
10.
10.
10.
I love 10.
Tin box.
10 is my favorite metal.
10 club.
Candidate.
Really like eerie dark instrumental with these just creepy atmospheric guitars. Once again, really tight bass line and drum combo. Just keep this track together and keep it flowing. Great lyrics and vocals from Ian Curtis, and I just love like the sinister atmosphere of this track.
Eerie production is great. The bass is very good. The drums are sick. I absolutely love the drums, and the vocals are pretty decent as well. It is another great track.
Louis, do you have all these fucking crap Joy Division memes saved, or are you just looking them up as we go?
He's just poking around on Reddit again.
I thought you were fucking prepared.
Okay. Fine. Nice guitar on this, and the sound of the guitar is very much, very, very, very iconic sound tone from it. The lyrics are very in sync with the whole song and work well, and the instrumentation is a bit good.
Yep.
It's 9.
I give it a 10.
I gave it a 10 also.
Insight.
Yeah, I really like how minimalistic this track is. Vocals are a bit weird, but I really like it. I think it's another great track on this album, and it's been very consistent all this way through. It's been a pretty good experience so far, to say the least.
Yeah, this song is easily my favorite on the album, and it's probably one of my favorite songs of all time. The fucking awesome drumming from fucking Stephen Morris, criminally underrated drummer. Sorry. Guitar and bass from Peter Hook and Bernard Sumner, as per usual, on point. I love the dark yet catchy lyrics from Curtis, and the eerie vocal samples in the background are like the cherry on top of this track for me. I love the like hectic, glitchy synthy breakdown during the chorus with the guitars and the synths. Memorable as fuck, and it's pretty out there for the 70s. Overall, I think it's an incredible song. Louis typing a fucking essay.
Louis.
Well, now's not the time to do your taxes. Oh my god.
Louis, can you stop looking for shit memes and just fucking explain yourself?
Fuck you. Just because you're mad, bro. Shut the fuck up, man.
I'm not really mad.
Alright, so
you're
Insight.
just being annoying.
Right, listen, I've got
Stop.
Okay, so Insight. Good production. I like the beat boop sounds. The drum sound as well is fucking brilliantly mixed in. Jesus Christ. Especially on this track. Jesus. I was just kind of mesmerized. It's a very good sound. Good. Beat boop. Good. 9.
9.
10. New Dawn fades.
New Dawn fades.
Shut up,
Guitars, drums, and bass are really good.
Stop messing around, bro. Stop moving. Okay. It's your fault if that breaks.
Guitars are great. The bass is really good. The drums are great. Move on.
Okay, fine.
Right, I agree with what he said. I give it a 10.
This is going well, lads.
If you would stop sending fucking memes that make no sense in an audio form.
Shut up. Shut up, man.
Alright, what did you rate New Dawn Fades?
9, I said 9.
Okay, fuck. Alright, don't laugh at it. Laugh at it later. We can do the podcast.
Okay, I'm closing Discord. Fuck that.
Yeah, but then the fucking beep boop's gonna show up every 5 seconds. Alright, she's lost control.
Oh, iconic track.
Yeah.
Fuck's sakes.
Fucking iconic guitar and bass work. Just it's one of the catchiest Joy Division songs. I thought. I love
really
the
like Go on.
yeah. No,
No,
you.
you.
Okay. I love the
Bitch.
like industrial electronic kind of drum beat on this. Oh, hits the spot.
Yeah, I like the double track vocals on this as well. I thought it was
Mhm.
very, very well done and interesting to listen to. Overall, instrumentation is fantastic. Nervous system is fantastic. I will agree, it's incredibly catchy and easy to stomp your feet to. It's good. That'll be a 10.
I'd be repeating what all of you said, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Shadowplay.
Apps, another highlight for me.
NVIDIA Shadowplay.
Best track in the album, in my opinion.
More fantastic bass work from Hook. Another powerful performance from Curtis, and definitely my favorite guitar track on the album. Probably my top 3 on this album. I love it.
It's personally my favorite track on the album. The guitars are great. Really love the drums. The bass is great. Vocally, it's very good. It's definitely my favorite track on the album. So, 10.
Literally exactly what you said, but 9.
10. Wilderness.
Good.
10.
I'll talk. It's a more upbeat track. I love how the guitar and the bass just complement each other so well, and how they're held together by more really, really solid and on point drumming from Stephen Morris. And there's actually some pretty catchy lyrics on this from Curtis. Well written overall. Yeah, good track. I give it a 9.
I give it a 10.
10.
Intrazone.
Instrumentation is great. Performances are great. Another 10, boys.
9.
This is easily the most like upbeat track on the album. It's the punk influence is quite obvious on this one. The guitar work on this is awesome. Drumming's on point as per usual. Peter Hook takes on lead vocals for this track while Curtis does the backing vocals. Quite a nice touch, although I do prefer Ian's vocals. But I think the vocals in this case really match the energy of the track really well. I give it a 9.
I give it a 10.
9.
Last track, boys.
I really like this track. I love the eeriness of it. It's a great outro to this album. It has stayed consistent all the way through, and there's no point in just wasting your time with gibberish. So 10.
Well, I'll just say that I love how like the previous more upbeat songs like do not prepare you for like this final track that's just a lot more emotional, a lot more in your face, and I think it makes the impact of this track just that more powerful. It's a really dark way to close off the album. 10 out of 10.
Spooky 10.
Spooky 10.
Spooky 10.
RRXD.
All right, final thoughts and opinions.
Good, yes. It's difficult to kind of imagine a world where this album never came out because of just how influential it was on music in the 80s. And by that fact alone, it should be considered a classic. But aside from its history and its cult status, it's just an incredible album from start to start. Just incredible performances from the whole band.
Did you just say start to start?
Start to finish.
Station to station.
Well, from start to start to
station to station.
See, the way I listen to an album is I listen it to the end and then I listen it back.
Listen to it. Fuck me, really.
I listen to it.
He's listened to Damn once. He's listened to Damn once.
Yes, that's
he listens to albums.
Oh my god, guys!
Ever since I heard Damn, I've just been listening to albums backwards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but just amazing, gut-wrenching performances from Ian Curtis. Rest in peace, and just an album whose sound just inspired many. But I don't think there's ever going to be an album that sounds exactly like this.
Yes.
Okay, final. I gave it
10, 100, 1,000 billion.
Rounding up my
100,000
score,
billion.
I gave it a 10.
10.
All right, that's it. Thanks so much for checking out today's episode.
I have to announce the albums. I have to
Never
announce the albums.
Announce.
Actual nonce.
Yeah,
Okay, albums for next week are HMLTD, West of Eden,
HTML.
King Cruel, Man Alive.
Yes, lads. Let's go.
Soccer Mommy, Color Theory.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah. Oh,
I think it's the highest rated album on Albums of the Year this year.
Yeah, so that basically means it's gonna be awful. Let's go.
And Joy Division, Closer.
What?
Ending off.
What kind of fucking?
Did I not tell you?
What kind of?
Yeah, you weren't here last week.
Yeah, he wasn't here last week.
When I was RNGing the albums for the next few weeks, I RNG'd Closer for this week, and then it just so happened to be Unknown Pleasures for next week, so I just flipped them around.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
we're doing Closer. So
close off.
Okay,
right,
thanks. Thanks very much for checking out today's episode of the Taped Podcast. Do you agree with our opinions? What was your favorite album from this week? Basically, necessary links are in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Peace.
Bye.
Appreciate it.